So, the spoilers are out for My Hero Academia, manga chapter 336, and let's just say that in this chapter, we get the reveal of who the UA trader is. And spoilers, it is one of the students, and it'll be surprising who exactly it is because it may not be who you think it is. And we'll get right into that right after this. Hey guys, how's it going? It is your boy, Manga Man Drew, and I'm here to do my manga spoilers, or cover the spoilers for My Hero Academia manga chapter 336, and from what we see with the spoilers, is going to be Tide Villain. So yes, from what I've read with the spoilers and what's going to go on in this chapter, yeah, we are going to get the reveal of exactly who the UA trader is. Last chapter, we were hinted at the fact of who the UA trader is and how it may have been a Toru Hagakure, but we get confirmation of who the trader is if these spoilers were to be believed. And some of you may know who the trader is because apparently it was leaked early on, I think, TikTok. But nevertheless, I'm still going to leave it a surprise for the end of this video because that is where we get most of the proper reveal of who the UA trader is. So, before we get into the spoilers, I'd like to ask you, if you haven't done so, to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. This is going to be a great milestone, and I would like for you to be a part of this milestone as well. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see this type of content where I cover spoilers, reviews, and discussions for My Hero Academia. And now, without the way, let's get right into the spoilers. So, from what we see in the spoilers, the chapter will begin with Deku and Bakugo training. There have been some people thinking that, oh, we're going to skip over the training because they just said, oh yeah, we were training that entire time while Deku was away. But no, we get more confirmation of Deku going through training, and we even get confirmation about Bakugo's cluster, as Bakugo himself says that cluster is based off the principle that he learned from Endeavor of concentrating and releasing. He produces multiple spheres of sweat and explodes them simultaneously. That is why he is wearing his winter costume to increase sweat production, which makes sense because the winter costume is most likely keeping him warmer, and if he's warmer, he's able to sweat more. And for what we see with the next few lines of text spoilers, Todoroki is also training. He wants to improve control of his two halves of his body, as you also have Kaminari talking to Mineta, saying that the two enemy generals have weakened and that Gigantomachia is still sleeping and he's been imprisoned, so the chances of victory is greater than ever. We see a metal structure being built, supposedly the place where they are holding Gigantomachia. So it's a little bit interesting. We don't get a whole lot of training from them from what we see with the spoilers as well as a few panels, but they do at the very least talk about what's going to be going on. And immediately after this, you have Bakugo as well as Momo chiming in on the points that Mineta and Kaminari bring up about the fact that All For One and Shigaraki are weakened, where you have Bakugo saying that they are too optimistic, referring to Kaminari as well as Mineta, and you have Bakugo saying that he has 3 points that prove how difficult it will be. His first point is that they are unlikely to find All For One because until today, even when they found the Nomu Labs or Shigaraki's hideout, All For One was never there. Besides, he hid for several years after he lost to All Might the first time. And then a second point is brought up that Shigaraki was already weakened in the last battle, and even then he put in all that work. To think that it will be an easy fight now, even more so with the reduced numbers of heroes, is very naive. And third, the villains must already have a plan and are waiting for the right moment. Even supposing that Search was destroyed in the fight against Star, they must have a plan B. The best thing to do now is to prepare their attack. So Bakugo and most likely Momo bring up these good points that All For One has been able to escape for a while, so it makes sense that they won't be able to just find him now, that even though Shigaraki was injured, he was still able to do a lot of damage in that injured state, so he's not as weakened as they think. And the third is that the villains are most likely planning to do something, and that even though Search may have been destroyed, that they may have a backup plan, which we probably see that backup plan in this chapter in the form of the UA trader. So we're going to get a lot of exposition, which is very cool, and they even allude to the fact that even Search may be destroyed or it may be alive, and that even if it was destroyed, they have other options. So they're still addressing the idea of certain quirks that could have been destroyed, which is better than them knowing nothing. So it's cool to see that they're discussing and talking about the plans and how they're potentially going to have to confront All For One eventually. And going into the next line of tech spoilers, you have Deku saying that he still wants to go out and search for them, but either chops him in the head and telling him that not to think of me, but us. They also say that they can now move around more freely because Uraraka's speech has brought the students closer to the civilians. The conclusion Kaminari comes to is that no matter if they were to move or wait, All For One is sure to be laughing at them, which pretty much is true. And from there, we actually cut to Hagakure in the forest saying that a certain someone is quite depressed since the end of the war. She watches 3 people talking in a distance. One of them says that the other has to obey because he is back giving orders. They say that he just needs to keep doing as he always did because the signs are disguised as everyday actions and are impossible to trace. Hagakure then thinks that even after Midoriya came back, this person didn't smile once. She was worried and went after him, but that's when she found out Aoyama is the traitor. His parents are telling him that he needs to keep obeying All For One or else they will be killed. So, this is the confirmation that we were looking for. Hagakure in the last chapter was a red herring, but the real traitor is actually Aoyama, which is very ironic because he was someone that many people thought was the traitor and was presumed not to be a traitor because of the red herring that was given, but it was actually confirmation that he was the traitor, and we actually get a little bit more hinting to that idea at the end of this chapter. So yeah, Aoyama is the traitor, and from what we see with the spoilers, it is explained like why he was involved with All For One in the first place. And then you have Aoyama's mama saying that they have already obeyed All For One's request as soon as the school year started, and then informed him the location of the training camp without anyone figuring it out. Aoyama cries and tries to oppose them, but his parents quickly say that they are not doing it because they like it either, but it is too late to go against him. Hagakure is listening to everything and can't believe it. She thinks back to the villain's attack on USJ and the forest. Aoyama's mother says that they only wanted her son to be happy, and we see a small flashback. Aoyama's mother, she says, "Do you want to be like everyone else, Yuga?" And he replies, "Yes, because being the only one different is scary." Aoyama was born without a quirk, so his parents asked All For One to grant him one so he could chase his dreams. And this is very interesting because from what we see with the spoilers, if this is to be true, Aoyama was born quirkless and that the quirk that he got was from All For One, which would explain why his quirk didn't really meld well with his body because he was born without one. And then going more into the text spoilers, you have Hagakure realizing that she needs to warn a teacher, but sees someone approaching. Aoyama still cries, saying that he has suffered all this time. He dedicated himself to this role so as not to arouse suspicion and not to be consumed by guilt. When All For One was arrested in Kamino, he thought he could finally live peacefully with his friends, and he was wrong. His parents apologize, and Aoyama says that he did all this to protect them because he didn't want them to be killed. They then ask him to continue protecting them, but it is at this moment that Deku arrives, brought by Hagakure. And now we are approaching most likely the end of the chapter and the end of the text spoilers, as we have Deku saying that he heard from Hagakure something about the traitor and asks if it's true, but the parents try to play dumb. Aoyama cries non-stop while looking at Midoriya. He blames himself for being the only one who didn't say anything to him during the rescue, and we see a panel showing his reaction to the letter Deku left when he left UA. Midoriya says that he has gone to the forest to look for him because he realized that something was wrong. Aoyama was the only one who remained sad all this time. It is at this point he breaks and starts talking, saying that he leaked the location of the camp in USJ. "I'm a disgusting villain, Midoriya." The last panel is a flashback of the cheeses he left on Deku's balcony during the one chapter which spelled "I know everything." End of the chapter, end of the spoilers. So yeah, this is going to be a very, very impactful, very, very emotional chapter from what we've seen with the text spoilers and the panels. And when I was reading this the first time, this hit me, and I know it's going to hit me as soon as we get the translations, and it's going to hit me a third time when it officially releases on Shonen Jump. So be prepared to feel a whole lot of emotion, because from what we see in this chapter, the main focus is going to be on the students discussing what they're going to do against All For One while seeing some of their training, as well as, the reveal of the UA trader being Aoyama and getting to see why he did this in the first place and getting to know a little bit more about Aoyama. So this is going to be sad, this is going to be tragic, and that's all the spoilers that I have for you right now. So all I can really say is hopefully you enjoyed the spoilers. Hopefully you'll be able to read the chapter when it officially releases. I'm not sure if I've ever said this, but I'm going to start saying this now. Always support the official release. I'm releasing the spoilers so that people can know about what's going to be in the chapter prior, but I always advocate to read the official release when it comes out on Sunday. It's only $2 and you get to read it for free for the first 3 weeks when a new chapter comes out, so you have no excuse. So go read it. So yeah, that's all I really have to say about this for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, hopefully you enjoyed the spoilers, and if you did, why not leave a like down below, as well as leave a comment on what you thought of this chapter, the spoilers, as well as do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to be notified for whenever I upload more content like this. Do all that cool jazz, and hopefully I'll be able to get you in my next video. Goodbye!